Hey, so I have a little something I want to share with you. And that is, I love washing my hair. I know it's a little hard to believe because most people are like, oh, I gotta wash my hair. But not me, at least not now. And that's because I love the way washing my hair makes it feel, look, and just act like my hair just comes back to life after a shampoo. And it's not just because of the shampoo that I use. No, that's part of it. But it's also because of the techniques that I use when it comes to washing my hair. Now, back in the day, I wasn't doing a lot right when it came to washing my hair, which is probably why I didn't like doing it. One, I was not using the right shampoo. And even once I figured out what shampoo I should be using on my hair, I wasn't getting consistent results. It wasn't acting the same way every single time. And that was because the second thing was my techniques for washing my hair were just not good ones. And I needed to do better. That led me to doing some research online. And by doing that research, I found several great tips for washing your hair. And I tried several of those out, and 7 of them are the ones that have really stuck with me and are the ones that I've seen the best results for. And now I'm going to share all 7 of those tips with you in this video. So let's keep watching. And here we go with tip number 1. Okay, tip number 1 is to use warm water. Now, like me, you might be thinking, but I already do this. You might be, or you might not be, because I know I wasn't. I was actually using hot water on my hair. I love hot, steamy showers. So of course, if I'm washing my hair, but I'm taking a shower, I'm going to be using hot water. But what I found is that hot water isn't good for a relaxed hair because it dries it out over time and causes it to be brittle, which then leads to breakage. Instead of hot water, it's better to use warm or lukewarm water because you still want to use water that has some heat to it so that it helps to open up the hair cuticle, which allows the shampoo to do a better job of getting rid of dirt, oil, and debris from the hair. But you don't want to use water that's so hot that it's drying out your hair. And basically you're getting good and bad and just ending up with bad results. Tip number 2 is to make sure your hair is really drenched with water before you apply the shampoo. Now, this is something I know I was not doing because basically I would just get in the shower, stick my head under the shower head for a few seconds. It would feel wet, my hair would feel wet, and then I just go ahead and start applying the shampoo. And I'd be like, why is the shampoo not lathering? And it would take several times of me applying the shampoo to really feel like it was working. And that was because my hair wasn't wet enough until after I'd rinsed my hair several times and got it really drenched. Now, when your hair is really wet, it allows the shampoo to better activate and give your hair a nicer, deeper clean. So now what I do to make sure my hair is really wet is I sit under the shower head for probably a good minute or 2 and just let the water soak my strands, just really get deep in there. And even sometimes if I feel like my hair is probably drenched, but at this point I will sit under the shower head for another 30 seconds. Tip number 3 is all about cleaning your scalp. Now, really when we talk about washing our hair, we're technically talking about washing our scalp because that's where our hair grows from. That is the really important part to getting good, healthy hair growing out of our head is to have a clean scalp, a scalp that has no dirt, oil, and debris. Because you can wash your hair all you want, but if your scalp is dirty, it ain't gonna go good. So to make sure you're giving your scalp a nice, good clean, you want to apply the shampoo directly to your scalp. And one of the ways that I do this is by taking some shampoo, about twice as much water, and I mix all that in an applicator bottle because it's got a nice tip that I can then use to get my scalp directly. And that makes sure I get it in key areas that I tend to miss when I just apply the shampoo with my hands. And I also get a really, really good lather when I do that. Okay, now tip number 3 leads me into tip number 4, and that is to massage the shampoo in. So you want to make sure you're not just putting shampoo on your head and going like, nah, and then you're done. No, you really want to make sure you're massaging it into your scalp. And that can be from anywhere to like a minute to 3 minutes. It just depends on how long you want to do it, how dirty you think your hair and your scalp are, and how much time you just want to sit doing it. And if you think about it, this is actually something that hairstylists tend to do, at least the good ones, when you go into the salon and you get your hair washed. They're not just being nice and giving you a good scalp massage. They're actually trying to make sure you leave the salon with good, clean scalp, and hair. And when you're massaging the shampoo into your scalp, you want to make sure you're using the pads of your fingers and not the tips and your fingernails, because then you're just going to potentially break hair, break scalp. You just don't want any of that happening. Okay, we're on to tip number 5. And this one is to not bunch your hair up on your head when you're shampooing. Now, I know if we think back to those wonderful shampoo commercials when the women are shampooing their hair under a waterfall, which didn't make sense, or in their shower, and they're taking the shampoo and they're taking their hair and it's all up in their head and they're bunching it up and they're like shampooing and getting great lather. Yeah, no, that's not how we want to do it. Because when you bunch your hair all up on your head when you're shampooing it, you're causing a lot of friction, which can then lead to tangles and knots. And when you have textured hair that is more prone to knotting and tangling, what do you get? Hair that is prone to tangles and knots, and a technique that makes the hair more likely to tangle and knot. And you put it together, and what do you get? Tangles and knots. Sorry. I just don't like that these commercials have lied to us all these years, because that's not the way we should be washing our hair. So instead, when we're washing our hair, what we want to do is just let our hair fall the way it typically would. So that can be down, it can be out, it can be up, whatever it is. However your hair just falls on its own, that's the direction you want it to be in when you're shampooing your hair. So you massage the shampoo into your scalp, and then you pull the shampoo suds down your strands from root to tip in the way that your hair falls. Tip number 6 is to shampoo or lather your hair twice. Now, this is probably the one tip that I can say doesn't necessarily apply to everybody. And that is basically because of how often you wash your hair and the types of products you use on your hair between washes. So take my hair, for example. I wash my hair pretty much every 6 to 7 days. And in between those washes, I tend to use hair butters, hair oils, or serums on my hair. And all of that just kind of collects up during those 7 or 6 days and then needs to be washed off. And one shampoo, one lather is not going to cut it. So I lather my hair twice. Now, if you wash your hair more often during the week, or you use lighter or fewer hair products on your hair between washes, you can probably get away with just one lather. For me, with the 2 lathers, the first one really gets rid of all of that surface buildup from products and oils and dirt. And then the second lather really gets in and gives my hair a good deep clean. And now, last but not least, is tip number 7. And this one you might say, like, of course I'm doing this. And that is to rinse the shampoo out completely. I mean, this one's kind of a no-brainer, but it's also something that I've had issues with, particularly when I'm deeper into a relaxer stretch. In this area right in here is where I tend to have issues where the shampoo just gets stuck up in the new growth that I would have and would not rinse out completely. Even when I rinsed my shampoo out, would do green tea hair rinses, would do treatments, and would deep condition my hair. And so I'm rinsing my hair multiple times, and somehow the shampoo would still stay up in there. And then after I'm done with my hair, it's like dry to the point where it's irritating my scalp. And I'm like, what's going on? And this happened a few times, not consistently, but it would happen every now and again during deep relaxer stretches. And I soon realized it's because the shampoo wasn't being completely rinsed from my hair. So then I would have to go back in and rinse my hair several days later to get the shampoo completely out. All right, so those are my 7 tips for having a good shampoo, for shampooing your hair well, or however you want to call it. Now I have some questions for you, because I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. So which of these tips are you doing or not doing already? Which ones do you think you'll try out the next time you wash your hair? And if you have any tips that I didn't mention when it comes to shampooing your hair, go ahead and leave all of that in the comments down below so we can have a conversation. And don't forget to also please like this video and share it on all of your social channels. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.